I don't know what to keep saying in interviews for the rest of my life. Eventually, I feel like I'm going to run out of things to say, and then what will I say? And then I'll have to keep saying the same things again. That's my fear right now, actually, because we've been doing so many interviews.
One Bollywood actor that you want to share your screen space with?
Konkana Sen Sharma.
The first Salman Khan film that you watched in a theatre?
The first Hello Brother, I think. I was quite young, but I remember Hello Brother. Because I have a lot of pictures from that event. So I feel like I remember watching that. Yeah.
And the last Salman Khan film that you watched in theatre?
The last Tiger 3. I want to, in the first initial years of my career, I want to show range somehow, in whatever way that I can. Just doing different things with each film. Hopefully that will, in terms of like career-wise, it'll position me well in terms of, it'll give a lot of diversity to myself as an actor, and I'm curious to see myself in different roles as well, because Farrey it was challenging to do that in the first film.
Alizeh, welcome to News 18 Showsha.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations on the success of Farrey.
Thank you.
It's not just the critical success, there's a commercial success also attached to it. A lot of people have gone and watched it in theatres. It's still playing in theatres. Do you think the big burden, the big test, that the litmus test, that the first movie is where you have to prove, has kind of that thing has gone away now?
I never put any sort of expectations on myself. I never wanted to do that. I didn't want to be so hard on myself, So I felt like when we saw the film for the first time, all of us, when we had kind of seen it without DI and background, of course, when we just saw a rough lineup, I felt really happy and satisfied with what we had done. So after that, I kind of, I was like, what we could control, we have controlled it. And after that, now you cannot control what happens. So we just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to have any emotions about these things. I always wanted to be like, this is my work, and I'm really happy, I'm really grateful. Also the responses have been very good. That is something I was not expecting at all. I wasn't expecting like such a positive response. I was like, I'm still very overwhelmed. I'm still like at a loss of words to how do I say thank you and to everyone who watched it and spoke about the film so well. So I'm really grateful, and yeah, like you said, like people are still going to watch it. People are still getting in touch with me as well, saying that they've just watched it, and it's really good, that people are making the effort to go to the theatres to watch a film like this with all newcomers and a different concept, and so it's nice. You can't help but feel extremely grateful at these times.
What was your conversation with your parents after the film release? I mean, after this whole, when the reviews started coming out, when there was such positive feedback, was it something that you spoke to them about, or did they tell you something?
I think I was a bit relieved for them. I don't think we spoke much about it after, because we were just, once everything happened, sab ho gaya, so we were a bit relaxed. Everyone was like, okay, we did what we could. People saw the efforts, and now we're happy and we're really content. And in that, it wasn't even what number the film made or anything like that. Just that people went and they appreciated what we had done. That was already a win for us. So we didn't really discuss it much after. But it was like that stress nikal gaya thoda, and we were all just a bit calm and happy and just really grateful, because we were getting lots of calls and from people. So, we were just really happy about that. Yeah, everyone loves some validation, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you party hard after that?
No, not at all. I haven't.
You haven't got a
because
time?
the PR, they keep making me do interviews every day, and they keep making me do. No, I'm joking. No, but I haven't. Actually, it's been quite busy since after the film as well. So, still waiting to take a holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But tell me, now, it's usually it's the way that, the first film chooses you, but after that you choose what you want to do. Now that this is gone, what's the way forward for you? I mean, how are you looking at that?
I don't know actually. I'm still waiting. Even like you said, even I'm still waiting for the answer to that question. I guess when it happens, I'll be able to be more clear on that. I think that the only thing I want, that one objective that I have in mind, that I've said in every interview, is just that I want to, in the first initial years of my career, I want to show range somehow in whatever way that I can. Just doing different things with each film. Hopefully, that will, in terms of like career-wise, it'll position me well in terms of it'll give a lot of diversity to myself as an actor, and I'm curious to see myself in different roles as well, because Farrey it was challenging. It was challenging to do that in the first film. So and because it was challenging, it really made me, think differently and work differently. And I want just that experience with every film. Correct. To be able to challenge myself and do things that even I didn't think I could do. So that's the only one thing I want to see going forward. But otherwise, in terms of like choices and this and that, I don't know. We'll see as they come, if they come, when they come.
But have you made any choices? I mean, are you listening to scripts? Is there any kind of change in terms of the approach? Are there people calling you, or are there anything that's moving?
Yeah, there are conversations, of course. Nothing concrete, nothing that we can discuss or anything like that. Of course, there are conversations. People have called after watching the film, and I think it's also the end of the year now, and people are kind of like winding down, and I don't think a lot of work conversations are happening right now generally, in terms of, because it's also holiday season, a lot of releases are happening. So maybe next year, let's see, maybe something more concrete will happen then. So yeah, but I'm not in any rush. Not at all.
Right.
I'm generally like a turtle, with everything. I really think and take my time, and I need to really live with the idea for a while before I actually go ahead and do it.
But do you think turtles survive in Bollywood, or rather the Indian film industry?
Slow and steady win the race. That's the moral of the story. Yeah. So that's the practice I use in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you kind of had a word with Salman sir after the release? I mean, was there something, because he was there through the promotions? You all went to IFFI. He was present out there. He was there all the time. What was the conversation after the film's release?
Again, like I told you, we've not spoken much about the film once it's released, because we were just like, okay, now whatever happens. It was in that kind of mindset. But IFFI, I was really grateful that he was there. It was very like a big day for us. It was film festival crowd, very tough crowd. So that day, him being there was really special. And the response that day, I think once we all saw that it was a reasonably positive response. After that, we all just kind of relaxed a little. That day, actually, we went out, we had dinner, we had a good time because we were in Goa. So that day we all relaxed together for the first time, I think, since the whole promotions and stuff had started.
Right.
But not no conversations post the film really. I think now that everything has gone well, people are just happy and not really overthinking anything or discussing anything.
Was there any kind of feedback that you were worried about from the family?
No, not from the family at all. My family is they're never the problem. They are always the people I go to when I want to feel good about myself.
Okay.
I was really worried about what
the audience
was going to think, because I'm working with my family, right? So obviously that is always going to be there, that, was she worthy of this? Did she deserve it? All of that. So for me, I was really worried, like, will people be able to accept me? That was a worry. But I was really happy to see that, like, a lot of people didn't say, okay, this is just like a launch for this person. They saw the character. They saw that it was an ensemble film. It's not just centered around one person. Yeah, there may be a protagonist, but the movie is not made with just one actor in it. It's made with every single person there. So I think people could see that, and whatever approach we had to the film, the one thing that we always kept in mind is we need to be really sincere about this, and we need to make a good film. That was always the case. It was never about, what will people think and all of that. The focus was just making a good film. So yeah, we were like, that was the only one thing I was worried about, and I think that I don't know if that will ever go away. That's my own insecurity that I have to battle with and deal with through my life. But it's good to have some kind of validation. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. You can't complain about that. To be very frank with you, it's great. I'm really happy about it.
I want to specifically ask you about Salim sir. I'll tell you why. Because I recently interacted with Salman sir after the release of Tiger 3. And over the years, whenever I interacted, Salim sir is one person where, he also takes his scripts to or probably he goes up and speaks to him after the film release, because he's non-biased. He just tells you everything, that whatever is there.
Yeah.
What was the conversation with him? Did you speak to him? Because this is something that, he's seen a lot of people making their debut as a director, as a producer, as actors. What was your conversation?
We had one narration of the script with Salman Mamu, but we didn't have that narration with my Nana, because the script did change a lot along the way. Even while shoot, we did keep like tweaking things here and there. So the first thing he saw was the rough cut, the offline of the film.
Sure.
And obviously this type of exam and all of these things are very new to him. He was also learning about them as he was watching the film. But one of the things he liked about the film was just that the simplicity of it, and the idea being a very simple concept. But human emotion is such a relatable thing. Like, it is very simple. Emotions are very irrational, as people like to say it. But sometimes our whole life is just centered around them. So it's a very simple thing, but he liked that, that it was just a movie that didn't really, there's no like fancy like songs and hair and makeup and sets and this and that. It's like a very, it's mostly script and plot driven. So I think as a screenwriter, he really enjoyed that bit of it. That for sure, and he really loved the casting a lot.
Do you feel validated when it comes to, it's not just the audience reactions overall, because it's like you mentioned, and we spoke about this. It is an unusual choice. Usually anyone would want a solo film, a solo heroine, or a solo female actor, solo male actor. Does the choice validate, and is this going to be the way forward in terms of, you're going to listen to yourself, listen to your mind, and go ahead and do irrespective of what the outcome would be?
I hope so. I hope I can stay this strong-minded and continue it. But as you said, I don't know if like everybody wants, like how you said, everybody wants to be in a certain kind of film. I don't know if that's the case, or the choice has just never been there for people to make before, like we see a lot of launches in terms of like how Star Kids have been launched, but there's so many actors in this business, and it's not always a hero-heroine concept, right? That's a big launch. That's what we consider a traditionally typical launch in this business, I guess. But in generally, if you look at just the industry, people are coming in all sorts of content. So I just think that maybe the choice wasn't there, or it wasn't really like thought about. I don't think it's like different or unique if you look at all the content we've had, especially since we've had OTT and stuff. If you look at that content, of course there has been this kind of stuff. It is coming into more popular mainstream work. So I just felt that the time that it is, the audience that we are, this is the right kind of a film to do for right now. And also in terms of acting, I don't know if we spoke about this before, but casting is very important.
Yeah.
You need to play to your strengths. That's always everyone has strengths and weaknesses. So
Agreed.
You need to play to what your strengths are. And I think that's what I do with my work generally. I see, okay, will I be able to fit in? Will I be able to do this properly? Will I be able to execute the role comfortably and in a secure way? Then I feel like, okay, then that's the right place for me to be. So yeah, just...
Right, that's some deep...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really like, I obviously was auditioning, I was testing and all of that. So it wasn't like, okay, like this will be the film for me. It just happened so that nothing was really working out, and Farrey was there, and I was like, you know what, let's just do it. I feel like this is the right space for me, and I can really work with this well. So that's kind of how it happened. It was like a jugaad situation.
No, jugaad. Okay, this is a jugaad situation, but like you mentioned, nothing was working out.
Yeah.
Was there at ever point of time were you doubting yourself? Did that ever happen?
Yeah, of course. How do you not? Everybody, I think, in the world doubts themselves once in a while. That's just part of being a human being, I think. So of course, when you don't get stuff that you really want, you doubt yourself. But you have to, everything happens for a reason. Had I done another film, maybe Farrey wouldn't have happened. So you can't just give up that easily, and you doubt yourself, you work on it, and you move on to the next thing. That's just how it is.
Are there any people from the industry? Did you have a word with them, or was there any kind of conversation about Farrey?
Yes and no. Like after I got the movie, I did speak to certain people about it, but I was just in that space where I got this opportunity, and you know, it was like when life gives you lemons, kind of. So I'd completely like it. It was just about it. I didn't really want to get influenced once I had made the decision. So I kind of like just focused on doing Farrey, you know, working with Sumendra sir as much as I could before the film, because as I told you, because it was my family and stuff, I had no excuse to not be at the top of my game. So I'd fully focused on that. And once I'd made the decision, I didn't ask anybody, like, is it the right choice? What do you think? I was just like, just watch it and decide, you know?
Yeah.
So, because people will always give you opinions. I get calls about the weirdest of critiques, but you just have to listen to people because everybody has a point and everybody has a point of view. You should just listen, and if it's working for you, take the advice, you know, or if it's not working for you, don't. And if it'll come into use later, use it later. You just have to like barter this advice as and when those obstacles come in your life.
Right.
So, yeah.
Great. Before we let you go, I would like to do a quick rapid fire.
Okay.
The next holiday destination that you are looking at?
Sri Lanka.
Okay. Have you booked your tickets for it?
Not yet, but I'm thinking about it. Maybe not this year, but at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
Your first salary and how did you use it?
My first salary, I got it for a shoot, and I have still not used it.
If not a Bollywood actor, which profession would you have chosen?
I would still be working in films, so maybe like direction or production or like writing or something like that. Still something creative, in the creative field for sure.
Right. But have you done anything related to direction and production?
I haven't done anything commercial in that sense, but of course, like I've made my own stuff, and like I've made my own movies and all of that, but I've not like released anything or put anything out yet. Yeah.
One director on your bucket list?
Oh, it's a tough one. One. Okay, let me say this.
You want to make it 3?
No, that's even tougher. One. Maybe Meghna Gulzar. If I had to just choose one. Yeah, Meghna Gulzar.
And why?
Because Talwar is one of my favorite movies. I love everything she does, and it's very... it's different. It will be a very big challenge for me, I feel, to be in one of her movies, especially the kind of the characters that she does. And I want to go through that experience once of like a biopic. I've always wondered like how do people do that, and I've seen she does that as a director a lot with her actors. So I'd be really curious to go through that process with her. That for sure.
One genre that you want to really do?
Horror.
Okay.
I don't watch horror films, but I don't know, I really want to be in a horror film. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it also, but I just think like in terms of like artistically, you can do really cool stuff with a horror film. Like it's a very like, it can be really, you can get really creative with it. Yeah. So I like that, yeah. Something surreal in like maybe like a fantasy, sci-fi, horror, that space. I like that a lot.
One Bollywood actor that you want to share your screen space with?
Konkana Sen Sharma.
The first Salman Khan film that you watched in a theatre?
The first Hello Brother, I think. I was quite young, but I remember Hello Brother. Because I have a lot of pictures from that event. So I feel like I remember watching that, yeah.
And the last Salman Khan film that you watched in theatre?
The last, Tiger 3.
According to you, which is his best performance?
I'm always split between Bajrangi Bhaijaan and Sultan. I really like them both.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything specific that you like about these characters of him?
It's a very different side of him, I think. You know, it's actually a side of him that I don't think a lot of people get to see, like his sensitive side, which is what I like about both films, especially Sultan. There are like moments that he's like, it's like they're very real, and you don't get to see that a lot, I think, in with him, like in just the kind of movies he does, like those like deep emotional moments, and I really love that. I really love when people see that side of him.
Lastly, what is your biggest fear and how would you conquer it?
My biggest fear is I don't know what to keep saying in interviews for the rest of my life. Eventually, I feel like I'm going to run out of things to say, and then what will I say? And then I'll have to keep saying the same things again. That's my fear right now, actually, because we've been doing so many interviews.
Right.
And what was the biggest fear?
And how would you conquer it?
I don't know. Maybe you will have to help me conquer this. I don't know. I'll keep calling you up every time before interviews, saying, give me some tips and give me some advice. What should I say? Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and congratulations once again. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
for
Thank
it
you.
more. Thank you.
Hi, this is Alizeh, and you're watching me on News 18 Showsha.